the Waterhole. The Weasel and Mole Come to Trade by Suzanne Springbrook, the second book in the series. Watch out, here I come, yells Jace at the top of his lungs, before he cannonballs into the cool water where the water sprites are swimming. The water sprites giggle and splash each other as they play games in the water. They are water sprites, so they are natural swimmers. And they love being in the water. I love summer. It's so much fun, shouts Jord. Splat! A big lump of weed hits Jord in the head, and Danny starts to laugh. I got you good, Jord. Ha ha! Come and get me. Danny swims away from Jord as quickly as he can. That's not fair. I will get Danny if it's the last thing I do today, Jord says. He gets a handful of weeds and waits patiently for Danny to come close. Water fight, yells Jace. Brandy starts splashing Jace. Then Danny comes in to join the fun. He splashes Jord, and Jord finally lifts his handful of weed out of the water. Splat! Danny cops a handful of weed straight in his mouth. Danny yells out, That's not fair. I didn't hit you in the mouth, Jord. Well, that's what happens when you play dirty, Danny. You won't be so nasty next time. What goes around comes around. In the end, don't you listen to Miss Sherry when she teaches Jord an annoyed tone of voice. Jace and Brandy are laughing out loud at Danny, who looks so funny spitting out large chunks of weed from his mouth. Next time you better shut your mouth, Danny. You never know when strange missiles will come your way, says Brandy, still laughing. Jace looks at Danny and says, You never learn, do you? You love to tease, Jord. Serves you right. Now we'll all know how to shut you up in a hurry. Come on, let's get out of the water. It's time for school, said Jace, as he's first to reach the bank and climbs out of the water. The others hurry after him and they all head to school. It is summertime at the Waterhole, and the days are long and hot. In the afternoon, gentle breezes sneak in and cool down the day. Thunderstorms build up and rain comes splashing down at nightfall, refreshing the ground from the hot sun. It is busy time at the Waterhole village, and all the water elves are working hard, doing all types of jobs that need to be done. Crack the Troll is busy doing his usual thing, sitting on his comfy chair, reading his newspaper and ordering around the Goblin to hurry up with his food and drinks. It is midday and two silhouettes appear on the bridge approaching the Troll's giant toadstool. Crack the Troll looks out his door and notices that a weasel and mole were coming to his home. Crack the Troll quickly gets out of his chair and walks out to greet his visitors. G'day! What can I do for you both today? Crack the Troll's eyes a huge luggage bag the mole is dragging along. The Waterhole is a magical and mystical place where many different characters live. There are 4 ball water sprites, Crack the Troll, the Goblin, and the Watcher Elf, the Hunter Elf, Miss Sherry, the Teacher Elf, and the wacky wannabe witch called the Trader. Join the adventures of these mischievous water sprites as they save the Waterhole village from the invading, enchanting spiders. They travel to Dragonfly Waterfall where the mammoth dragonfly lives so the teenage water nymphs could collect the rainbow flowers needed to save the Waterhole village from destruction. Meet the new characters, the Weasel and the Mole, who have come to the Waterhole village to trade their goods, but they have been sent by the wacky wannabe witch, the Trader. What will the water sprites do next? This is the wacky wannabe witch, the Trader, who is sending the Weasel and Mole into the Waterhole village to get a magical herb for her. This is the enchanting spider that comes into the village and the water sprites have to try to make up a plan to capture these deadly spiders. This is the loafer elf. He's a new character in the second book. He loves reading books and eating chocolate. This is the lazabout elf. He likes to teach the water nymphs how to fly their dragonflies. He's a bit of a character. He's the time bomb elf. He's the cranky elf that lives in the Waterhole village. He has traps and snares around his house. This is the water nymphs, Jazz and Crystal. They're the ones that have to go to the Dragonfly waterfall to collect the rainbow flowers to try to save the Waterhole village. This is the hunter elf. He teaches the water sprites how to do their hunting. This is the goblin, Crack the Troll's slave. He cooks and he cleans and he looks after the troll's cow. This is Miss Sherry, the teacher. She is the water sprite's teacher and she teaches them all the things about nature in the rainforest. And this is the watcher elf. He's 100 years old. He's the oldest and wisest elf in the Waterhole village. He has his magpies that can guard the waterhole and tell him of all the happenings about the place. He has a big telescope that he can keep high on the Waterhole village, and he has a big megaphone that he can shout out to warn them if any danger is happening. He has owls that go and protect the Waterhole at night, and they always come back and tell him what's happening in the Waterhole.